it's going to make a huge difference. He's been waking up every day this week.
One of our docents and a world-class miniaturist, Burt Reckles, has made a special miniature for the pilots, which represents the pilots in early days gone by. And we are presenting this on behalf of the Houston Maritime Museum and Captain Thompson to say a very special thank you for their donation to the museum. Our chairman, Gilda Mullen, and our docent, Burt Reckles, are very pleased to make this presentation, and we're very excited to have them all here tonight. Thank you so much. You'll see in the on next picture.
Captain Thompson approached me at the sighting ceremony of the new Maritime Museum, and he was looking at the miniatures I had on display and asked me if I could do a piece for the pilots building. And I said, sure, what do you want? And he said, give me an idea of what I should. What if we do a piece that traces the history of piloting? Where did you guys first start? Where did it all come about? I do pieces, and a lot of my work is in museums, ranging from the Japanese Ships and Bottles Museum in Osaka to the Smithsonian in Washington. The key for any piece, whether it's for a museum or whether it's a commissioned piece like Captain Thompson asked for, is authenticity. And authenticity is based on research. So I do a lot of research. The research led me to Imperial Rome and ancient Greece, because that's where the first pilots were. What would happen is a merchant ship would approach a port, and just like today, the captain wants a safe landing. But there were no licensed pilots in that day, so the fishermen were the pilots, because they knew the waters, they knew the ports, they knew the rocks, they knew the eddies, they knew everything about it. So they raced to get out to the merchant ship. And my theory is the first guy out got the contract, and then he guided the ship back in. So I suggested to Captain Thompson that why don't I make a miniature in a light bulb that I had of a merchant ship and a Greek and a fishing boat adjacent, and the fisherman is climbing up the ladder on the side of the merchant ship, just like you guys still do today. You climb up the side of the ship that you go out to pilot in, and it will be a scene that will really date back to where you guys first began. I am estimating it's going to be somewhere between 100 and 200 hours. My work, depending on the complexity, of course, varies. I can do a piece in maybe 25 hours. I've got a piece in my breakfast room that took 2,000 hours over a 2-year period. I came across a very large stadium light bulb, about 14 inches long, and I said, this really would be a unique piece in this light bulb. I've always been fascinated by ship models. I've always been fascinated by models. When I was a kid, World War II was going on. All my boyfriends and I used to build models. Tanks, planes, what have you. Eventually my boyfriends discovered girls, but I kept building models. But I've just always found models to be fascinating, and the smaller the better. You know, my business card says reality reduced and then reproduced, and that's how I work against it. It's been a hobby all my life, and I find it very satisfying. Captain of the Roman merchant ship wants a safe passage. What does a captain today want? Safe passage. So anyway, they threw a ladder over the side. Hasn't changed much in several thousand years. So I made a piece that depicts the original. There's a fishing boat. The guy's pulling up fish, and there's the captain climbing aboard the ladder to the Roman merchant ship to bring him into port. And
beautiful.
This tells the story.
Yeah, that is incredible.
Absolutely beautiful. Better than I ever thought.
Hey, I'm world class.
Oh, that is way more than I
The
ever expected.
Smithsonian has my stuff.
Way more than I ever expected. That's really nice.